Yankees and Detroit. We talked about yesterday's performance with Garrett Cole not going so well. And Detroit had some bats going a little bit early, but then at the end it was the Yankees, and they covered that run line yesterday too with a run in the ninth inning to make it a 4-2 game. But when we look at the Tigers, guys, we know that this team is kind of void of offense, and the Yankees obviously got the big bats. Yankees a $1.70 favorite today. If you like Detroit, plus 150. But again, another low total here because of the weather. Keep an eye on that there in Detroit. The total 7.5. Severino going for the Yankees today, and then Eduardo Rodriguez going for Detroit. Severino's a great story. Talked about it, last week. I was afraid to bet on Severino just because they weren't going to give him extended innings. Had 3 innings in his first start, came back 5 innings in the second start, but his velocity has been very, very good. It's a great feel-good story. We know this guy has missed the better part of the last 3 seasons, so I know a lot of people are rooting for him, especially Yankee fans, but the velocity was up in the last game. He was hovering around 97, 98 miles per hour, so that's a good sign. But this guy's had a myriad of injuries, the elbow injuries, then he had the groin injury that knocked him out last year as well, too. So good sign for Severino. The question is, do we want to back Severino? Base winner?
My answer is yes, and you make a good point about his velocity being the increase in velocity. But the other thing that's really encouraging, if you have Severino today, or if you have him in the Cy Young market, which I do, is his Stuff Plus rating. Stuff Plus rating is an 80th percentile. And if you look at Erod, his Stuff Plus rating in the only 7 percentile. That's a really low Stuff Plus rating. Got to be concerned a little bit about Erod. But I have it priced at minus 229 for the Yankees. My long-term projection on Severino is really bullish. I have him 8th out of 150 pitchers. Love the Yankees bullpen. They're ranked 2nd overall in baseball as a team from a team bullpen standpoint versus the Tigers at 29th. So we have a huge edge in the bullpen as well. Huge hitting edge. And I know the Yankees haven't put it together yet. I have them long term at 120, which is 20% greater than average from a weighted runs created standpoint. But even with a slow start, they're still hitting about 100 from a weighted runs created plus standpoint. Detroit is worse from a weighted runs created standpoint. So even if you just look at those numbers coming in, I know it's a short sample size, but even if you look at it, the Yankees have outplayed Detroit from an offensive standpoint. I think this is a really good opportunity to go with Severino. And you mentioned, TC, his last time out. He was really, really good. An expected strikeout percentage of in the 90th percentile at 31.8%. He suppressed hard hits per 9 at 7.2, and then his expected walk rate at 5.5%. So you put that into the rating, it was a 93 percentile start his last time out. Contrast that with Erod, 2 starts, 10 percentile, 19 percentile. I think this is a good opportunity to play Severino. A lot better team. The only thing that really kind of concerns me is that cold weather. And I just honestly, I can't even hardly. It makes me cold to watch the game when I'm watching it. So, I'm a little concerned about that because I think it evens the playing field a little bit. But I have it priced. I have the Yankees priced so much different than the market does. I'm gonna ride with the Yankees again tonight.
And you figure he's going to be on a pitch count as well, too, coming off those injuries and the history there. And like you mentioned, the cold weather here. Will be interesting to see how far they go with Severino in today's game, like you said, in probably cold weather in Detroit.
Yeah, and Jeff? I think one of the good things that, and I'll let you get to Jeff, but I just want to make this one point. Peralta, 114. He's my worst pitcher in the Yankee bullpen. I don't think he's going to pitch tonight. They gave him an inning and a half yesterday. The rest of the Yankees bullpen solid. I want to see Lutke pitch. I love his stuff. He's at an 81 base winner number. I'm really high on this Yankee bullpen. It's really deep.
Jeff.
Yeah, so I think you can really go a couple of different ways with this. I like Mark agree. I'm a big Severino guy, always have been. Think the guy's terrific. And you look at this Erod. As we know, he was out in Boston for a while. A lot of these Yankees saw him. Some of these guys crush him. And Gleyber Torres, 3 home runs and 23 at bats, 348 average, 9 runs batted in. Some of these guys destroy him. You look at the weather tonight out in Detroit. It's definitely a little nippy out there, but the wind is blowing out. So if one or two of these guys get a hold of the ball, it could be game over. I like Severino. We know he can kind of dominate a bad lineup. You look at last night. Okay, Garrett Cole went an inning and 2/3, as we talked about at length, and Detroit still lost the game 4-2. Think about that. That's how bad this Tiger lineup is. They couldn't get to anything in the bullpen. You had set up guys and long relievers going a while. I think this Tiger lineup just sucks. I think whatever you go with it. As far as, again, I've had this conversation about some of the laying the big prices. I'll just sooner look at the run line here on the road, or even a first five minus a half. I'm pretty confident that the Yankees have the lead after the first five. I want to target not only having Severino on my side, but also I like the matchup against Sevy. I don't, or against Rodriguez. I don't think he's particularly good at all. But again, with that bullpen, I don't mind laying a run line either. Maybe an over, a team total over for the Yankees. I think you could skin a cat a couple of ways here.
All right, let's lock BaseWinner in for the Yankees selection here today. Gonna lay 170 on the road again. Jeff makes a good point. We get these high numbers, possibly look at a run line, especially if you have an advantageous pitching matchup here. So maybe some value there. The Yankees on the run line as well too. But BaseWinner is going to lay the 170 with the Yankees.
Yeah, and I'm really encouraged by the strength of Jeff's pronunciation of sucks for the Detroit offense. So I'm trying to get a metric here. I'm listening to how the decibel level of when he says sucks to kind of say, well, how bad do they suck? And judging from the way he said sucks, I think they really suck.
I will say, I wish, if you know anything about me, I prefer to describe people in different ways, a little bit deeper, but we can't, I don't want to get, in trouble here on this channel, so I won't do it.
I think that would be the 97th percentile of sucks, right?
Sucks.
Right there.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, TC. Good one.
There it is. Our analytical guru. There he is.
There you go.
Yeah. There we go. We go from one.
Every time he says sucks, you got to give it a rating. And so, I like that. It supports the play. So that's great.
There you go. We got Raw Jeff on one side and Sabermetrics Mark on the other side. I got to love this. Outstanding.